everyone. Welcome to Dr. Quack House Calls. I'm Dr. Quack, and today I have on a special guest for you. This man is all the way over from Germany. It is now about 2 o'clock in the morning, but let me tell you, the man is busier than anybody else I know in the professional promo world here. Ladies and gentlemen, The Purge.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited about this.
I'm glad we got to have you on here. I mean, you are such a busy man here in the promo world. I mean, the list of responsibilities that you have throughout, including running your own Fed PPA and, promoing in many Feds and being a tag team champion in Revolution and many more. You can tell us more about that, can't you?
Exactly, I can. I mean, you may be asking me then after that, what is the difference and how do I get busy there? Well, I can tell you also by that. I am currently a PPA owner, the sole owner of Promo Performance Alliance. I am in a backstage role in WGP. I'm doing the graphics. Good evening. Yeah, I would probably say hey, good morning, Mr. Damian Cross, or should I say Axel Hammer? Sorry. Then I am in a backstage. I know I should behave, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I am currently in a media and backstage role in WGP, as well as being the host from APF Straight Jacket Sessions, as well as being the Lockdown General Manager. And yes, you said it right. I also promo too. I'm currently one half of the Revolution Tag Team Champions and having the WGP Level Up contract to cash in anytime for a title opportunity. So, how do I keep myself busy with all those stuffs around? I would say like this: I am glad that I am in such those promotions, just like that they having like, okay, we're having a show on that, and you need to turn in your promo on that time. So I can have some time to maybe cut one or two high promos and then putting the story leads towards to the match promo and sending to, I would say, individual Vince McMahon or something like that. But yeah, so basically I have, what up, old school? Basically I have like a little schedule that I'm doing. It is like Tuesday lockdown, every second Tuesday APF lockdown, then every Thursday Straight Jacket Sessions, and then every Saturday Saturday Night Showdown, the weekly episode of PPA, and once in a month the Super Show event. So that is how I keep myself busy in the promo world.
You definitely are. I mean, that's a lot of stuff right there. But the first thing I want to go into is PPA, where you actually run the show there. How is it like dealing with being a promoter versus being a promo artist? What is the big differences for you?
Oh, that's a good question. The difference is between a promoter and a promo artist is that you're gonna, as a promo artist, you're gonna see only the aspect of a booker. How is he gonna book it? How does he book you, the promo artist, in what individual match? Maybe in a number one contenders match. And then we can see what's going on in the promoter side. You need to think about, how do I sell my champion? How do I sell my world champion to the others? How do I sell that champion? How do I sell that champion? Who is a potential contender for that title? And so. Basically, I would say to be a promoter, it's very difficult and you need to have much time on it. In like a promo artist, you have basically like waiting for you to have like to say, oh, okay, I have a match on that upcoming episode of Saturday Night Showdown, so I have to be responsible to turn in the promo. Exactly. The parallel is different. it is really different. Because for me, it's been like, I could say like this, I usually plan months over. So all that you can see on PPA is already planned like 1 month ahead. The Super Show is being maybe 1 month ahead, or probably like Promo Mania is going to be more than 1 month to prepare for it, because it's 2 days and you have like God knows how many matches, 12 to 14 matches preparing for 2 days, as well as having the civil unrest with a big Civil Rumble match where over 20 promo artists is going to be competing. You have to wait for each and every single individual who turns in one by one before you're going to send it to the judges.
Definitely. I mean, do you have other people that help you as far as backstage goes, or is it mainly just you when it comes to PPA?
I do have a right hand, I would say, just like Roman Reigns has with Paul Heyman. It is basically Mac G, aka Michael Sunday. He's helping me pretty much out with like on difficult decisions, like do we gonna do like the world heavyweight title match just like that, and all those stuff. We have also a championship board of directors, which is basically say like, okay, this guy could be on the world title and this guy could be on the showdown title and yada yada yada. So basically we are a team of 4 to 6 people at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you need help when you definitely are running a Fed. It's hard to do it by yourself. I mean, definitely you want to have other people on there. But I want to move into APF here because this is a newer Fed, Asylum Promo Fed. They've been around, I think, 6 months. Am I about right there?
Yes, 6 months.
Okay, and you get to do, you host the show there. You host the Lockdown. Now, what is that like for you, being able to host a show? How does that work for you?
Okay, here comes the funny story about it. That was basically like on the episode number 7. The 7th episode, I tell him that would be a good match.
Yeah,
exactly.
Your mama helps
I have so. By my last opinion, I always ask my mom about it. That is the most important thing. I could be like, how does, I would say an explanation there, Mama Perch versus Dr. Quack sounds like on paper. She would be saying like, yes, it's a great match, or it could be like a shitty match. That she is always saying. Now, back to my APF question. So, Dusty, the Straight Jacket Sessions was supposed to be hosted by John Drake, aka Rambo. And he had a little problem with his computer. And besides of Dusty and I knowing much knowledge from StreamYard, he texted me 20 minutes before the Straight Jacket Session is going on. Hey, can you please host the show? I can give you the data and all those stuff. I would be like, what the and I could be like, yeah, okay, I could do this. All good. I text Rob Bell almost 2 a.m. in the morning and saying like, I need your pre-show acknowledged for the Straight Jacket Sessions. Because Rob Bell is also my pre-show correspondent for PPA. So that's a perfect connection there. So I hosted the Straight Jacket Sessions for right now 10 episodes. We had yesterday the 17th episode. So Dusty made it official that I'm gonna hosting the Straight Jacket Sessions for now, as well as stepping in for Edward Lindsay and being the Lockdown General Manager and hosting, booking, exactly that one too. But I come probably later on tonight for that.
You do a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
constantly on the busy. I mean, that's what we call the grind. You know, when I was in like the sales business, we would call that the grind, and that's a great attribute to have, that you're constantly wanting to do something and get something going.
Exactly. I mean, that keeps me really busy throughout the day. And even though I have like 2 or 3 hours that I'm gonna spend on Fortnite, but basically I know what your question is gonna be later, so I'll leave this as a little tease on for later.
Okay. Well, you know, and us go on here because you just had a match last night. You had a match over there with Mr. Wallace. They had the big 8-man tournament, getting ready to meet Old School. I mean, you had a really close match there. What was your thoughts on that? I mean, I know the outcome is not what you wanted, but what were you thinking on that?
I would say like this. I am not really concerned about the outcome. The thing was that I was trying to tell a story about the disappearing from the purge out of the HSP screen because of the whole cartel thing is going on. So basically, I was be like, I need one of my second characters instead of the German bastard. So I was thinking about, and then WGP is bringing the heat too. Mr. Wallace was afraid of knives. So I was be like, okay, let's do it like this: the psychopath and the knife. And Mr. Wallace is gonna play with the psychopath. So I was be like, yeah, okay, this could be working well. And it really turns out the HSP fans love that. And I must be like, okay, if I would move on, then I would exactly. If she is saying sometimes bring the end, then it should mean something. That's why
What, do
I
you
would
consider
I would
yourself
put
a mama's boy? I mean, Jim Cornette, one of the greatest minds in the business, always said he was a mama's boy.
Jim Cornette is it's the I have my own take about that.
Oh boy.
I love my mom. I really do. I was never a fan of multiple characters, but you do it well. Bravo. I would say like this. I do believe it's old school. That
That is.
okay. I would say like this. Old school. There is the purge. There is the end. Yeah, that too. There's the purge. There is the end. But nobody hasn't really met the soldier purge.
It's something you enjoy. It's a different like layer of your character with the end versus going out there as the purge. I would imagine, right?
Exactly. I mean, the end is something unique. That's why the end is currently in WGP like the standard for the purge. And usually I'm not going to do weekly matches with the end because there is a problem. I had this once in when I had the match against the sorceress over in Foundation. I was bringing the end for 1 or 2 minutes. Then I was trying to record the promo for Mr. Wallace, but then there was just the air out. Just the air out. This is the end is something special.
Yeah,
And
it
that
was.
can
I mean,
bring all
it defeated
that
Dak
can
Snow over there for the WGP Havoc title. I mean, that was a shock to a lot of
dude.
people.
I wasn't expecting that. I really don't. I was be like, okay, 50-50 tie. What is this gonna do? Do we gonna have a rematch and bring the heat? Until Mr. Mayhem said like they brought a fourth judge in it. I was be like, fuck. What? What is going on? And then 15 to a true artist can perform in multiple style, and I think you do it well. Keep up the good work, but as old school would say, don't matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, let's get
There
to
it
that
is.
real quick. You're talking about the Pure Heart champion here commenting. I mean, you guys had a match a while ago and it was relatively close. I mean, how would you feel if you got into a rematch with Old School?
I think I would probably say I am one of them who was so close to beat Old School, so close as like somebody who has been having the breakout of the year. Like, I would say if Old School would give me a rematch, I would definitely do something better and I will go 110% on it. But that's all future talks. I'm currently like in the story with the cartel involved.
Yeah.
I don't.
And here we go. Yeah, ask him whose idea it was.
I think mine's to the end with Old School. Huh?
Yeah, I think Old School said it would be his honor for that match.
Yeah.
Okay, so the story behind the end. So basically, while back when we was on Winter Warfare, I was still being like the Purge, but I teased something different for the future, and that is the end. And basically, the end is a long-term storytelling. Write it down, Marks. Long-term storytelling. Write it down, Marks.
No.
So basically, the end has like a long story. It began from the WGP heavyweight title match, which was an Inferno match, till like now. But I get that. Why don't listen, Old School? If we ever gonna face off, we're gonna put our beards on the line. Beard versus beard. I mean, look at that hair. Look at that hair. There is no hair. Okay, we lost track.
It's all right. Go ahead. You were talking about the end and the origin and everything.
Correct. The end was damaged in the Inferno match. And I must be like, it needs to have something unique on it. Mama Purge came with the idea, why don't we put some makeups here and there, and every match that you have, it is growing more and more till this face is covered in full of flashes that is burned by the ashes. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And then we stick with that. And then, I just became Havoc champion with that, because this is like the most over character in WGP history. So I would say I will, and I do give credit to my mom itself for having like so many ideas to like for me to improving in the promo world. I need to stay hydrated.
Mrs. Old School would kill him. See, yeah, I could already see that happening. Yeah, you don't want to have that happen. Oh boy. One more thing I want to talk about in the promo world is you and your partner, the Heathen, the Reunited Nation. Now, you're tag team champions over with Revolution, but yet you still have the cartel issue. I mean, Heathen's now got to fill out that contract. What has the conversations been like with you and Heathen on this?
So, the conversation about the cartel, I won't say, Mr. Purge also, I would say like this, I don't say anything much about it, but make sure to follow HSP, because this story is getting more and more interesting of that. So, you mentioned it. We are the Revolution Tag Team Champions, but do you likely want to know how the origin of the Reunited Nation came from?
I do, but I want to ask one more question because you guys won those tag team titles from the Hodge and Haywood connection. How did that feel?
I sat there. I was fucking nervous about that. I was sitting in the living room. I texted Heaven. Yeah, shit, I am so nervous about it. Are you too? And he was be like, this and that. And after Timmy said, and new Revolution Tag Team Champions, the Reunited Nation, I was all over the place. It felt surreal. The first thing that I did is calling Heaven because he missed the show, and I was be like, we became the new Revolution Tag Team Champions. And he was be like, no fucking way. And then the next day, I was at the wrestling show. On that day, the next day after, I was at a wrestling show, local indie show, and I was be like, shit, this it still feels surreal. So yeah, it's been a wild ride with Heaven. Exactly.
Your mom's gonna rat you out and tell you, "Yep, you were fine on that." But I got a couple comments here for you. Yeah, if the cartel gives you any more problems, give me a ring and I'll stand by with you to bust their ass. So that was old school there. We got an ally potentially there. And then you have A-List Alverson. How cold is that refrigerator?
This is not funny wise cold from the outside, but inside it is really cold. I usually do have this side to go like into the shows or the interviews or like the posts. So I have this side because if I'm gonna turn in like that, there is the kitchen, and nobody wants to see a fucking kitchen.
Well, there you go. There's some quality tips there. But yeah, go ahead and explain the origin of the Reunited Nation. I apologize for interrupting that, but I had to ask that question.
No problem. Probably the people of 30 plus years and older really don't know about the game, but the game that is called is Fortnite. That everything started last year when we first talked on a daily basis in that game, daily basis for like 2 or 3 hours straight. Then the one night, he even said like, I am not sure about the cartel and all those stuff. My mom came on the corner and said like, why don't you tag with the Heathen? And I was be like, that could be something. And she was be like, why don't you call yourself the Reunited Nation? I was be like, okay, we have to work this for like months first. Because I was at the time in the Blitzkrieg / Elite Empire stable. And I have to, you want dinner tomorrow? Don't call us old fancy.
Wow. I'm telling you. Go ahead.
I have to go like first in story rise, going out of those factions and building like the Reunited Nation. Then I do believe it was the Boiler Room had like the tag team titles like vacated, and they need some potential challengers. So I instantly called Heaven and said like, why don't we start the Reunited Nation there and expand? And since then, Heaven and I started to be a tag team. Since then, we have decided to go for the Revolution tag titles, soon to be also in the picture of the Elite Marks tag team titles, because we just won a #1 contenders match there. Funny wise, I just built a story all around that. People thought I would take with Heaven. No, I'm an idiot. I would tag with Mama Perch. I would tag with El Guapo, as well as with Rob Bell. But in the end, I misdirected them to another lead until they got revealed that is my good friend Heaven.
That's interesting. Just how you bonded off of Fortnite. That is definitely an incredible deal right there.
Right?
You don't see that every day.
Exactly. I mean, if
But
you have a game or some shit like that, if you have a game, a hobby, or other things to find your tag team partner, you got it. It's either Call of Duty, it's either Zelda, it's either Fortnite, it's either PUBG, Counter Strike, all of that. Go and communicate with your tag partner. And that's why American Roughneck and Old School was tag team champions for so long. They
yeah, a little
can
over 200 days.
communicate.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Here you go. Now I got a side question here. Steak or hamburger? What's your pick?
Can I pick both? I gotta pick both, but if I have to do a pick, then I will go to the good old hamburger. Especially when Mama Perch is gonna make it self-made. Chef's kiss.
And your mama chiming in with schnitzel over here.
Yeah, that too. Wonderful.
Oh yeah, now I'm getting you hungry. But before we do that, let's get into a few more questions here. Because now I want to go into the pro wrestling side here. What is pro wrestling like in Germany versus the United States? Because I know right now you're kind of like watching SmackDown. You're not watching SmackDown right now. It's kind of like in the glare. You are
not watching SmackDown at the moment.
What is that like comparison to Germany when you see German professional wrestling?
Oh, that's a good question. I experienced a lot of German wrestling over like the past, I would say, over the past 10 years. But I really started to like having the difference between the German indies and the US pro wrestling, having like starting since 2015 when I visited first the WXW events, which was the German version of the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. So basically, basically the difference between the German indies and the US indies, I would say that's on the 20. Yeah, that one too. But I come later to the difference between WWE Germany and WWE USA.
Yeah, what do you see different there?
I would say the timing. Because you got Monday Night Raw 3 hours on a Monday, while we have Monday Night Raw on a Wednesday for 2 hours, plus commercial in it. But when I'm gonna use the Monday nights and gonna watch it live, then I must be like, there is too much commercial in it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating America after all, but I think America has the dumbest and stupidest commercial ever.
That's generally a tactic there. They want you to remember something that because it's stupid, you'll remember it. Because if it was something clever, most people don't remember that stuff. But if you go,
exactly,
I feel like chicken tonight, people remember that.
Exactly. It's especially this Liberty commercial. This is sometimes I was sitting there and be like, was this necessary?
Did you like Pizza Hut? I mean, during Fastlane? What did you think about Fastlane?
It was a car wreck.
Why? Why was it a car wreck?
I would say like this. The main event kept this everything good up. The last man standing match was really good. The tag team match, I wasn't expected that Cody and Jay, two singles wrestler marks, are winning tag team gold. Especially, you let Jay Uso splitting up with his brother, let him go to Raw, and then tagging with fucking Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, who's been chasing for the undisputed title like since fucking Royal Rumble 2023. You have it like that, and then you put the widest tag team together and let them dethrone the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day.
I think you're a fan of the Judgment Day.
I mean, Judgment Day is alright at the moment, but they are nothing without Edge. So, anyways, the women's match, it really began with the car crash. Charlotte Flair, you can't wrestle against Asuka. We saw this often, and you put more botches and botches and botches in it. I'm glad you Sky retained, but the crowd was fucking dead of all time. The six-man tag team match, Carlito's back.
So overall, you weren't impressed with Fastlane too much.
I wasn't really impressed about it.
Okay. I want to ask one more thing about the WWE, and that's the Tuesday Night War we saw here a couple days ago. NXT bringing everybody on there, and Edge making his debut in AEW. Which one were you tuned into, if either, and what's your thoughts about it?
I had the great privilege to watch AEW because Rob Bell had watched NXT, and I watched NXT like in the afterwards. What I really don't like about the Tuesday Night is that they started the war between the wrestling fans. They was be like, I have the biggest. You get what I'm saying? I have the biggest. Yeah. Okay, I would say like this, child friendly. I have the biggest carrot of all time, and then Tony can be like, stop, Sean. We have an even bigger carrot than you. We're gonna make a buy-in for a weekly show.
Right.
A pre-show. So basically, like, both of those individuals, AEW and WWE, have started a war between the wrestling fans.
Okay. Well, I got a couple rapid fire questions here before we go. First, favorite opponent you faced in the promo world?
I would say you.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
We built a great story in WGP. Like from you joking about embrace the vision.
Look, your mama's saying her.
Toughest opponent. It was the toughest opponent going up against my own mom. Really. So I'm gonna say difficult. Yeah. I'm going to say like this, favorite opponent, Dr. Quack.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But here you go. Since it's Halloween, what's your favorite scary movie?
Scary movie 1.
Really? The parody. You like the parody. That was the funny part of it.
Yes, I really love, I'm not really into movies, but I really do love the parodies about it, like the parody of Hunger Games I have recently watched.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a really good one.
Then the Twilight parody, the 300 parody, as well as the Scream parody, all of that. But I'm not really into movies, especially not horror movies.
Makes sense. One more thing I want you to go into before we go. Talk about the Civil Rumble coming up.
Oh, my favorite one, my favorite. He is a liar. He hates horror movies. Exactly.
Your mama knows. I'm also have this interview with your mama. She knows.
Oh, you can have my mama patch next time on the Dr. Crack House.
Have to set that up potentially. But yeah, Civil Rumble.
Yes, exactly. Civil Rumble, or should I say basically civil unrest. We started the Promo Unity Alliance with WGP, and we stand for one word, unity. And I started to make the Civil Rumble 2 years ago an open invitational that everybody could come in and be a part of history. This year, we had 28 promo artists in one match. That is, nobody in the state could ever really done it. So I sat with Sness and Lamar Wallace together and be like, how do we gonna top this? 30 promo artists in one match. That is gonna be tough to do, but it is possible. Everything is possible. Because in the second year of the Civil Rumble, I'm gonna tell like this. I wasn't really thought that we had 26 people ending up in the Civil Rumble match. And I was like, 20 is perfectly fine for me, but I wasn't really expect 26. So I thought like next year we're gonna do it bigger and make it 30. So
I was in the last two of them. Do you want me to go into the third? Maybe I'll come in. Maybe not. I don't know. I gotta sign this contract and think about it on that though.
Exactly. I mean, everybody is welcome in this Rumble match because you're gonna become a part of history. Especially, you're gonna be in the lights of this year's winner AEP and last year's winner Dave Baker, Ivan Rage. Rest in peace to him because. Oh, Jesus. And the winner will main event Promo Mania next year. I would say probably the biggest Promo Mania of all time. But the winner can choose this time for either the PPA World title or the WGP World title. But one thing for sure is that you're gonna main event this whole damn thing. I had to drink.
Well, there you go. He needs a drink, and we are getting ready to wrap up this episode here. Dr. Quack House Calls. My next guest coming up here Monday. He is an old crafty veteran here of the business, been in a long time. We're definitely going to talk about and hear his story. His name is Sergeant Rogue. I'm Dr. Quack. Thank you, Purge, for coming on here, and I will see you next time.